So I've recently gotten back into Albion Online and I am having an absolute blast. But as a returning player, there were a lot of mechanics in the game that I just needed a refresher on. One of those mechanics is how the zones in Albion function. So if you are a brand new player or a returning player, we're going to go over exactly how the zones function in this video. The types of zones in Albion Online each have varying rules regarding PvP and which resources are available. There are 4 different types of zones in the game, which consist of a blue, yellow, red, and black zone. There are also 2 different continents in the game which have set zone types within them. As a fresh character, you will begin your journey on the Royal Continent. The Royal Continent has blue, yellow, and red zones. There are no black zones there. The black zones are located on another continent called the Outlands. The entirety of the Outlands is comprised of black zones, and this continent can only be accessed via realm gates that are located within each city. The types of zones in Albion Online also have corresponding tiers. The outer edges of the Royal Continent are made up of blue zones and lower tiers, and then as you work your way towards the center of the Royal Continent, the zones increase in level. Blue zones are the safest areas in the game. These zones are designed for low risk activities, including gathering, trading, and crafting. This is where you're going to want to spend time if you're brand new and still learning the ropes. These areas are going to give you a good introduction to some of the mechanics in Albion without risking your loot. There are also open world monsters within these areas that you can take down for fame. This will help you learn the ropes of combat as well before venturing too far out. Resources up to tier 4 can spawn in blue zones depending on the zone, and blue zones are completely safe from PvP combat. The only exception to this is if you are faction flagged. If your health points reach 0 from fighting a monster, you will simply be knocked down. When you are knocked down, you will take 5% durability loss, and in blue zones, you do not drop your loot upon death. If you are faction flagged and engage in PvP within the zone and your health reaches 0, you'll be knocked down as well. This will also result in a 5% durability loss, and you will respawn at the nearest faction outpost. As you become more experienced and confident with your gameplay, you can then venture out into the yellow, red, and black zones for bigger challenges and rewards. Yellow zones are considered moderate risk areas. These zones offer more of a challenge compared to the blue zones, and they offer the opportunity to earn better rewards. Unlike blue zones, yellow zones offer the opportunity for players to engage in PvP. These zones are the highest restricted in terms of PvP, and players have the option to flag, often referred to as red or hard flagging. And once you're flagged, your name's going to turn red, and you'll be able to engage in PvP against both other flagged and non-flagged players. If you die as a result of red flagged PvP, you will be knocked out for a short duration and take 5% durability loss on all equipable items, but in yellow zones, you do not drop your loot upon death. If you are flagged and you attack an unflagged player, it is going to result in reputation loss. Faction flagged players in yellow zones follow the same rules they do in blue zones. You can view the number of red flag players within the zones in the bottom right corner below the minimap. This number is going to update every 10 seconds. Hellgates and corrupted dungeons in yellow zones are also not full loot areas. Instead, you're just going to be knocked down and then booted from the instance. Yellow zones can serve as a great starting point for players looking for a higher challenge in the game or those who are looking to get started with PvP combat. These zones provide a moderate risk environment where you can gather resources and PvP. Resources up to tier 5 can spawn in the yellow zones. Red zones are full loot PvP zones for both faction warfare and PvP flagging. However, if you attack an unflagged player in the area while being PvP flagged, you are going to still receive reputation loss just as you do in yellow zones. If you die as a result of either faction warfare or PvP flagging, all of your equipped items and entire inventory become lootable. These zones offer high risk, high reward activities and are designated for more experienced players who are looking for a bigger challenge and greater rewards. Red zones offer some of the most challenging open world bosses in the game, providing players with the opportunity to test their skills and earn valuable loot. Both Hellgates and corrupted dungeons are full loot areas within the red zone as well, and red zones contain up to tier 7 resources depending on the zone. Just like yellow zones, you can see the number of PvP flagged players in the zone in the bottom right corner below the minimap. This updates every 10 seconds. Then we have black zones. Black zones are the last of the types of zones in Albion. When in a black zone, you are automatically flagged for PvP, and these are full loot zones. There is no flagging system within these zones like the yellow and red zones, and all players may freely engage in PvP without incurring any reputation loss. Black zones can be found in the Outlands and the Roads of Avalon. The Outlands are accessible via the realm gates located within each city, and every city within the Royal Continent, excluding Carleon, has a realm gate. You can access Roads of Avalon by finding Avalon portals in any zone on the Royal Continent or Outlands, and then whenever you go into a black zone, you can utilize the invisibility shrines near the exit for safer travel. Black zones also contain territories, castles, and castle outposts, which all generate season 7 points. And then resources up to tier 8 can spawn in the black zones. But that's going to do it for this one, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I have thoroughly been enjoying my time in Albion Online. I will probably be playing it quite a lot moving on into the future and trying to create some content for it. So if you like Albion content, please make sure to like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. And of course, I stream every Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. CST over on twitch.tv/BDLG. I will be streaming some Albion Online over there as well, so come hang out. I'd love to see you over there. But that'll do it for this one, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.